What's up, everybody? This is BakaBois. I am Frankfurter, that is Magically Average, and today we're here at MomoCon. This is the Night 2 edition. We've gone 2 days here. We've got essentially, well, I've got a day and a half left. You've got 2 days left.
Yep.
And we're just here to chat just basically about our con time so far and just, some things we've learned over the years about going to cons that maybe first timers might want to know about, just for the fact that we are with some friends that this is their first con. So we've just kind of been giving little tips and tricks here and there. So, starting off, I mean, what's been your favorite part of the con so far?
Favorite part?
Yeah.
That's hard. I feel like there's a lot of really good cosplayers this year.
Yeah, there is a lot more quality cosplayers than previous years. I think so far, not necessarily like my favorite cosplay, but the favorite costume. Like, favorite cosplay I saw was definitely Beard, and there's a guy dressed up as Coach Beard from Ted Lasso, and he had like the rainbow pants on that were just hilariously great, wonderful. But I think my favorite costume that I saw is that we didn't say hi or anything, but there was a girl dressed up as Ai Hoshino from Oshinoko, but her whole dress was hand stitched, like crochet stitched, and I thought that was really freaking cool.
Yeah, that was cool. It feels like there's more people in attendance that are cosplaying too. And that's coming from someone that cosplayed as Fearin today. So,
yeah. And I think that it's just like, it's not even, no, it is just the mass of people, but I feel like this year for Friday, granted it's been like 2 years, I think, since I've been to MomoCon, 2 or 3 at this point.
Yeah, 2.
I feel like the amount of people here is about the same, maybe a little bit more.
I don't know, like, we went Thursday, and
it was actually a good crowd Thursday.
Yeah, we got in probably around like 2:30, 3 o'clock ish. So later in the day, and even for day one, it was really busy.
Yeah,
I feel like for a Thursday, I feel like usually
some of the volunteers were like, "This is a Friday crowd. What is going on?"
Well, yeah, there's that, but then also too, like, even today for Fridays, I thought was a pretty decent crowd. So much so that there were artists in Artist Alley that already had like stock sold out, like for the weekend.
And there were stamp rallies that have already gone completely dry of like their final prizes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. And that was at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, which is wild. But I think the immediate thing I noticed was that there are more cosplayers this year, which I think is really cool.
I agree. Yeah, and we'll put out another video here sometime where we did a little fun game, and I feel like a good majority of the people that we did that with were also in cosplay.
Like, almost everyone was, which is cool.
Yeah, it was really neat.
But the thing that I've noticed, we can get into like MomoCon more too, but they expanded this year.
Yes.
So last year when I came with my wife, the building C in the large convention hall was like robotics.
Yeah.
So we walked over from our hotel, and I was like, "Oh, we go through this entrance. It's kind of like a quick way in."
Yeah.
And we walked in, and it was like, "Welcome to the robotics." And I was like, "I know you trusted me, and that this is your first time here, and I was here last year, but I promise you, I know where I'm going." And I was like, "Oh yeah, we just go down this connecting hall."
Yeah, because the year before that, when we went, there was nothing there.
No, it was empty.
Yeah,
it was
totally just
empty.
People just used it there to film videos and whatnot, and now it's full-blown convention space.
So I think they're predominantly in the lower level, like the main level of Hall C, but I think that's where they're doing more of like the event
I was
type.
gonna say screenings and such.
I think screenings, a lot of like the dances and stuff, the more social events they're doing down there, which is nice because when we were here the first year to present our panel, we were teamed up against a K-pop dance event, and our mics didn't work, which if you've been following the channel for a bit, you remember that when we did this same exact recording 2 years ago. And that was less than ideal. We made it work, but it definitely, there was a lot of rooms where it was like a panel with just a couple of hosts talking, and then like something loud playing next door. So I think they moved all of the like loud large
event type.
social,
like dance raves,
interactive
etc.
things, down to C, which is good.
I think one of the things I love that you brought up the rave that we talked against. I think this year the panel room next to us is a karaoke thing. The time we're going, at the same time we're going, if I remember correctly.
I blocked that out already.
Yeah, but no, this year, I mean, for my favorite thing, I would have to say that, everything's a bit more spread out. Everything's a bit more clearly labeled as well.
Well, that's what I was going to get to, is that with the expansion, they've been able to, like, better organize the convention hall.
Yeah.
Because, like, last year, it was really, like, weird how the main level was structured, because it was all in the same hall, but they, like, partitioned areas off, which made it feel more clustered. Like, Artist Alley was right next to the vendors, which is normal, right near the Walk of Fame, which is normal, but then, like, you rounded the corners past the cars, and then there was, like, the I always make fun of it, but, like, the futuristic, like, everyone stands in their own square VR.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. That's, like, one of my favorite things to see, which we haven't seen. I think that's in Hall C.
We haven't even rounded that corner. We haven't even gotten to the end of the vendor alley, because we were
Oh, that's
we
true.
saw, like, that it was mostly, like, the Walk of Fame and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't need to go down there. But I always forget that there is that other curve. Into another room.
Which, I mean, again, that helps it. But, like, last year it was literally you went from cars to you just walked a little bit further past them, and it was, like, video game haven.
Yeah.
So this year it's, like, everything's more sectioned off, which I think is better, because their MomoCon is heavily advertising that it's anime, it's comics, and it's video games.
Yeah.
And from just the experience we've had so far, it does feel like if you just want to do anime, you have your own area for anime.
Yep.
If you just want to do, like, video games, there's your own area for video games. Comics is a little bit harder because it's
kind of in the middle of everything else.
But also they do a lot with artists and voice actors for series, and they're intermingled in, like, both the Artist Alley, the vendors, and the Walk of Fame. So it's like you can't really section them off. But, like, video games is, like, nowhere we haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
It's, like, nowhere to be seen.
Other than, like, a few indie game things, but yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like that alone has made it more enjoyable, because you're like, okay, you don't feel like you're stomping over people constantly, because, like, the video game people are migrating over into this other area, and then, like, the anime people are migrating over into this. It's like everyone's already in their, like, confined area, and you just kind of stay there.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's been nice.
And I think that's my favorite part, is the fact that everything's just a bit more clearly labeled and just easier to find.
Are we old?
Yeah, probably.
We're like,
because,
we're like,
well, no, like, when I was here 2 years ago, like, nobody found our panel because nobody knew where the panel room was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that type of thing, too, where it's just, like, things are labeled very clearly.
Yeah.
But, I think there really haven't been too many negatives for this con. There have been some very stinky people that we've seen. There's been some other cringy people that we've seen where they're walking around with signs that say, if you can afford a ticket, you can afford deodorant, and they had, like, deodorant sticks and Febreze on them.
Well, but they were also, like,
in your face about it.
They were decked out in army stuff.
Yeah, it was like SWAT police gear, and it's just like, you guys are. I know we've done another episode on
what spurred that too, because we did a recording on, like, con pet peeves. Was it after, like, Anime NYC or Expo or something?
It wasn't well, maybe it was NYC, but I feel like it was after one of the ones we went to together.
Yeah, because we've experienced all the pet peeves
still
in the last 2 days, like people walking with their boom boxes, blasting music,
I hate it.
I was very scared. There was a person cosplaying. I do not know the character. I don't know if it was their own persona that they were doing, but there was a guy with an actual electric guitar. And I was like, oh god, he's gonna start, like, just ripping in this public space.
He had it pretty low.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I applauded that gentleman, because he had a transportable amp with him, and
It's probably
it was,
like 1x1 feet.
yeah, it was tiny. Like, it was enough to like just hook onto his belt,
Yeah.
and it was very quiet. Like, he kept it very low, and I was like, "Good on you, sir." Meanwhile, I fucking walked like
Miku's.
2 feet away from Miku's, blasting as loud as they could on a JBL fucking speaker, and
Which
I'm like,
which
"Oh,
wasn't even
God."
like it kept cutting out too. So
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
you would hear like the song for like a second, it'd cut out for a second, you hear it for 2 seconds, then cut out again. And you're like, what the?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten all the pet peeves. Still, people still have not learned. It just makes
It is what it is.
it's
We also,
mind-boggling.
what's funny too is, when we checked in yesterday for media,
Yes.
we have to go through the, like, sign the waiver and agree to the terms, like, you're not going to act bad. One of the volunteers who we were working with, they were like, "Oh, yeah, we just want to make sure you're not going to do anything bad. Like, some people already had to get kicked out." And we were like,
Excuse me?
It's 3 p.m. on Thursday. You've only
Been open for 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, "What happened?" And they were like, "Oh, we got word that..." We're not even going to mention the name.
Yeah.
If you follow the cringiest...
Con creators.
Yes, there's one in particular that everyone has called out. I will just say infamous as Zenetsu. That's all we'll say. Apparently, he was supposedly here in attendance, but has likely been banned.
Well, so they were telling us that they banned him from media and other
Yeah.
like any
Like-
content
like
creation.
has to
any
buy his own
special-
badge.
Yeah, any special badge. But like the owners have not outright banned him quite yet. I think they're waiting for like, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I think they're waiting for something to happen before
Yeah.
they ban him.
Yeah,
Which really is unfortunate, but I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like he is a repeat offender.
Another
Fucking ban him.
pet peeve. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, there haven't been like...
There hasn't been any too many
No,
like
not a lot
negatives.
of...
It's just the pet peeves that we've talked about in the past.
Yeah.
Just remember, take a shower, use deodorant, you'll be fine, and don't bring your own speakers. Those are like the two biggest pet peeves. But I will say the only speaker person that I actually found was like fine was that there was a guy walking around with a speaker and had his phone and basically said, "Hey, guess the song, you get a duck." And it was like the speaker wasn't super loud. It was just very, you would have to be within, call it 3 to 5 feet of him for you to actually hear it. So it wasn't too bad. So it's like, okay, this isn't as bad. But it's like if you guess the song, you get like a little like acrylic or something duck. Yeah, it's over there somewhere. But yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we do have a few friends with us that are first-time con goers, and we've kind of been walking them through do's and don'ts. And I think one of the do's that we've told them is just like, hey, Thursday, Friday, as much as nice it is to do like content creation, because they're here for content creation as well.
Yeah.
Do your shopping.
Buy all of your
Do
shit.
your shopping really early, because again, as we talked about, there are some artists that are already out of prints, out of keychains, out of pins, out of stamp rally prizes. Shirts, yeah. Like I tried to get a shirt for a friend at like 3 p.m. today, and they were sold out of the size.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the fact that when you go to like conventions, you just assume
they have enough.
Right. But then you're very early reminded, like, these are artists. They have to travel here with all of their gear. So if they're traveling from out of town, they're limited, and they're only going to take as much as they hope or think they will sell. So it's like, yeah, I'm not going to expect them to have a billion things. It's good that they're selling out too, right?
Yeah.
It means that they're getting attention. But it is like, it is crazy to think like Friday at 1 p.m.
You're already sold out.
Yeah, certain artists are like, no, we're out of that. I mean, we went early on, so another tip, another do that we'll go into, because it's related, is spend dedicated time going through vendor, and then spend dedicated time going through Artist Alley. Now, you can pick and choose. Like, if you don't want to go through the vendors, if you're like, there's not really any specific, like, merch, like, figures I'm looking for, I'm not really into a lot of, like, the the more commercialized type stuff.
Like
I just
Kinokuniya or like the Honkai Star Rail booth.
or yeah, but like just like anything that's kind of more mass produced that
Yeah.
a lot of vendors will have. Like if you're not into that, then you can skip it for the most part. Like early on, you can just meander in later, and then you just focus on Artist Alley. But like you will have to spend a good portion of time just snaking through all of Artist Alley. So you have to allocate time for that because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think MomoCon on the main floor has 34 aisles. Like 28 to
I think it's
29 of them are actual
38 aisles, and about 30 of them are actual vendors in Artist Alley.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that number, in that
So-
range, give or take like 1 or 2.
and there's 3 like layers of them too. So there's like 2 different walkthrough sections as well. It's massive.
Which
So
I
it's-
will say that's another plus. They've really spread out a lot this year compared
Yeah.
to last year. So like, or previous years, where there's actually walking space in between the aisles. Like, so if you're walking down one, like there is a center path of which is like 2 to 3 people wide, and then there's like 2 to 3 people wide on one side, and 2 to 3 people like on the other side too.
Anime NYC loved it. The worst for foot traffic.
Anime Expo was pretty bad too.
Yeah, they were both bad. Anime NYC honestly was worse though because their Artist Alley
Yeah.
was tight.
Yeah.
Tight. Like you could not, one person couldn't be at a booth and have another person be at the booth just opposite of them. You'd be touching asses with each other.
Oh,
like it
damn.
was
that's
so
pretty
tight.
bad.
Yeah, but we were going through Artist Alley today because today was our dedicated Artist Alley day, and again with merch, like buy your merch early. We went up to a booth, and I was like, oh, this is a nice Witch Hat Atelier acrylic standee, and then they had a Summer Hikaru Dai standee, and I was like, it was like early on too. We got there at like 11:30. This had to be like maybe the second or
It
third
was
booth.
probably like 12:45.
Yeah, I
1
mean,
o'clock.
it was early on in our day.
Yeah.
Like when by the time we got there, asked the vendor like, hey, you know, how many standees do you have? Because we were gonna keep walking. She was like, oh, this one, last one, and it was just a immediate purchase from
I
Frank.
was like, well, oh wait, that's the, oh, I guess
No,
that's
yeah,
front
it's
and
the
back.
same
It's
way, yeah.
double-sided.
But I was
Yeah.
like,
He was like,
that's-
yeah, I got one more left other than the like the one on display which I'm keeping. I'm like, oh,
well,
okay.
gotta buy it now. Yeah.
because to your point, we were gonna walk away and we were just gonna look through other like vendors too.
Well, because like we both, maybe this speaks to how old we are too.
Yeah.
We're like, God, we don't want to be bogged down with too much stuff already. We just got here. We're going to be carrying around shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Which, another tip, another do, make sure you bring at the minimum like a fanny pack or something or a crossbody bag.
Yep.
You can bring backpacks. It's great if you know you're going to be buying a lot of stuff. If you buy a 50-pound figure like Frank did on Thursday, you can't. It's not going to fit in anything.
It wasn't that heavy, but it is that large.
It
is that large. It takes up my entire suitcase.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah,
My carry-on suitcase, that is.
yeah. So that was
Which
your.
I do.
That was
I
your
regret
big,
nothing.
That was your big purchase.
I went into this con. I was like, "There's 3 things I am looking for. If I can find one of them for a reasonable price, I will get them." One was Angel's Egg on 4K Blu-ray, which we did find.
Cheapest was like 90 or something.
Cheapest was 95.
Yeah.
Which I'm not about to do that. Not for that movie. I can find it a little bit cheaper online, which I know it's the whole like, oh, but you're there. But it's like,
Support local.
but it's like, that's a vendor who's probably selling online. It's not an Artist Alley or anything like that. So it's like, okay, that one I can pass. The other were 2 figures. One is a Coco figure that's only been released in Japan, which it's like, hey, if I find... Yeah, Witch Hat Atelier Coco, where it's basically her, like, with her shoes together, and she's kind of, like, taking off. And it's an adorable figure. Mm-hmm. It's only been released in Japan. It's already out of print. And it goes online for, like, $450 to $600, somewhere in that range. Yeah. And I was just like, that's a long shot, but if I find it for, like, $500 or under... sold. And then the last one was a Freerin figure, which I missed out on. I was going to buy it and then just was a little too slow, missed out on it. I found it here, found it for actually cheaper than what it's going on for online, which was great. But like, I found it was like great, I'm gonna get this. This was on my want list. Like, I know I'm not gonna find the other figure. I bought it, had them hold it for me because it was early Thursday. We were probably like the fourth vendor or like fourth row we were walking through for vendors.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was just like, great, wonderful. And they held on to it for me, which thank you very much if you're somehow whatever watching this. And they just took a picture of me with my receipt and they knew who I was when I came to pick it up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like buy early. Do your shopping early, do your content creation later, and then make time for panels.
I'm gonna say something
if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something controversial. I think, which is a don't. I'm gonna bring in a don't to this.
Oh.
I'm gonna it's gonna be a don't with an asterisk. Don't set like a hard line budget for yourself.
Oh.
Well, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, if you're going to a con for the first time, first off, it's overwhelming.
Yes.
I think our friends that are here with us...
You'll want to buy the first thing you see. You're like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Well, you'll want to buy the first thing that you see, but then you'll also be purely just overwhelmed by the sheer amount of... the sheer vastness of the con. In terms of how much there is to do, how many things that are you can go and see, all of the different merch, all of the different...
Which actually, I fall into this bucket, this don't bucket today because we were on our last row, I think, for Artist Alley, or we were just kind of meandering about, and I was trying to find a specific character print for a buddy of mine for his birthday, and I'd given up. I was like, hey buddy, I can't find it, and then I finally found one. I found a Firefly from Honkai Star Rail print, and I was like, great, this is the first one I've seen. Gonna buy it. We go from that end cap around the corner down that row, and 2 stalls over there's another vendor or another Artist Alley person with prints for fucking Firefly, plus more characters, and they were better prints, and I'm just like...
And then we went further because we went out of Artist Alley into the vendors, and there was a dedicated Honkai Star Rail store. So there was everything about it.
So I fell into that trap. But it's learned from my mistake.
Yeah, but that, I mean, it's more so
we thought we had seen everything. You will find things you don't on a second pass through, but you didn't on the first.
Well, I think so. The don't of not setting a budget is more so for you to just not feel like you need to choose between one thing over another. I mean, I'm the type of person that's look, if you really love something and you find it and it's what you've been looking for, you should feel like you deserve to get it. Especially, going to a con too, you're supporting artists and stuff. Getting it from vendors, a little bit different, but from artists specifically, I'm always the type of person that's if you are really in love with this particular series or this particular character or what have you, you should get it and support the artist too.
Yeah.
But the budget specific is the last thing you want to do is set I'm going to only spend $200, because then you feel so guilty when you're right on that cusp of oh my God, I've spent $190, but there's 2 more things I really, really want, and and then it's do I sacrifice this or this? And it's just go in. I'll transition this to the do limit yourself on what you're going to buy. For me, I knew going in, I'm I really only want prints from specific series. If I find something super unique, sure, I'll get it, but I'm I was looking for I said Die Dark.
Yep.
I was I want something
never gonna find.
I have a print from Die Dark.
I know.
I was holding out hope. I'm I want Die Dark. We brought up smoking behind the supermarket with you. I was if I see something with that, I'd love that.
Yep.
I had bought you a Serario utility for your birthday.
That's so dope.
That I got in Japan. I was you know what? Throw that in there. I was if I see anything Serario utility, journal with witch, all these different things. I'm if I find anything like that, I'm gonna buy it, for sure.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, didn't really find anything.
I think the most unique, not out of place, but the 2 series that I can think of so far that I've actually saw merch for that I was unexpected for was one, wow, I forgot.
Land Lustrous?
Land of the Lustrous. It's an older series that didn't get a lot of love on season 1. It's a Studio Orange production. you know, in hindsight, we've done a review episode. This is before your time.
Yeah.
We did a review episode. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but like the more I think about it, the more I did do enjoy it. But I was a little harsh on it. But yeah, I saw Land of the Lustrous merch, and then we also saw Love Bullet, which it's an anime or it's a manga like that's pretty popular. But
yeah, I was gonna say
there's only one volume out.
But it got so much like traction before it came out. But no, I mean, like for me, I bought a couple of prints, one of which was for my buddy. I love Over the Garden Wall. My buddy is a big fan as well, so I got him Over the Garden Wall stuff. I got myself a Dungeon Meshi and a Chainsaw Man one, and that was kind of it. Like, I didn't really go in with any expectations, but I also didn't set a budget because I'm like, God forbid I find something that I love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, poop, I already spent, 75% of my budget and I cannot afford this now, right? So, because we also, I think that came into my mind as well because we met another volunteer our first day and she was like,
I have a budget of $300.
Which I'm like, it's fine to set. I think it's good to set expectations, but
it's a pro set a budget. Other pro have a little bit of a slush after, like to go over.
I think it's, again, in my mind, it's don't set a budget, set limitations on what you're going to buy. Like if you like be like, I'm only going to buy these series, or I'm only going to buy art prints, or I'm going to look for keychains and standees instead, or I only actually want to buy figures. Like whatever that case is, don't be like, I'm going to set a budget of $500, but I'm going to buy everything under the sun. Because then you're just going to get out of control. You're going to realize, like, oh, shit, my figure alone is $300. I want to buy 10 pieces of art. I want, like, it just gets way too crazy. And as someone who has tapered down significantly since the first con I've gone to, I can tell you it's better to say, here are the types of things I want versus saying, here's how much I'm willing to spend.
Yeah.
Because the willing to spend is a lot easier to break than the things that I'm going to, like, things I want to buy and look out for.
But I do think that other people have to set a budget though.
No. That's what
I know it's a con-ish.
I think if you really try hard enough, you can say, like, if you're like, I'm a big One Piece fan, you can just stick to like One Piece merch and you'd be fine, right?
Yeah.
But you could also spend $10,000 because if you want to buy
all the figures, all the prints,
exactly. So it's like it's like I want to buy, stickers. I'm gonna go on a stationery run. I'm gonna buy like stickers and notebooks and all kinds of stationery items. You can do that too and find very cool, unique ones. Or if you, like I said, or you can do like I'm gonna buy standees, like acrylics only.
Yeah.
I think that's like usually the better way to go than set a very specific budget. But you can I'm not advocating for people to waste their entire paycheck on
anime goods.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot easier to break a budget that you set versus you're not just gonna randomly buy a print just to buy one, right? You're gonna buy something that you like.
Unless you're doing stamp rallies.
Which brings us to our next point.
Does it?
Well, I'm trying to take. I'm like I want to.
How are you going to transition this one?
I was gonna say, do participate in stamp rallies.
Okay.
Because in my mind, I think stamp rallies are a very creative and unique way to support artists while also like getting you to buy merch for a very specific series. Because like the way stamp rallies work is like usually it's like at least 3. Up to 6 to 7.
Yes, 7 is the max I think I've seen. Maybe 8 might be the max I've seen, but
there's been a lot of big ones. But there'll be artists that will collaborate together for a stamp rally, and basically it's just them coming together to say, "Hey, come to our booth, buy a minimum of sometimes it's $5, sometimes it's $15, depending on what the end prize is.
Yep.
But there is an end prize. They're like, come to our booth,
spend this
amount of money." And we will give you a stamp, and once you collect them all, you get an end prize. The beauty of the stamp rally is that usually they're themed. So, like, I did one last year at MomoCon, and it was Steel Ball Run. So I got every booth that I went to that was participating had some goods that were Steel Ball Run themed, whether they were stickers or standees or whatever. They had something Steel Ball Run. And then once I finished it, I got a whole little goodie bag of really cool stuff that you could only get if you completed the stamp rally.
Right.
So like this year, we've seen Witch Hat, we've seen a Yowie one. So if you're big into Yowie, there's one there.
I think the coolest one we saw still is that Uma Musume one.
There was an Uma Musume one that was a bit pricey, but it was definitely worth it if you could collect it. At the end, there was a carousel, an acrylic carousel that had
like 6 of the characters on it, and then you can spin the carousel around so they'd all go kind of flying,
which is hilarious.
It was really funny.
Yeah, but there was
it was a $15 minimum at 6 booths.
6 booths, yeah.
So it was a minimum of like $95. So, which I mean, to be fair, for that acrylic is probably how much that acrylic is worth.
Yeah, it's true. So, but it's like, though I like the idea of stamp rallies because again, you can. It's a pick and choose thing, right? Like you don't have to participate.
Yeah.
And it's usually geared towards a specific series or a theme. Like I said, like my wife participated in the Yowie one, so like there was a bunch of booths that were having that like had Yowie and Yuri merch, and then there was a little prize pack at the end. This year there was one I wanted to do that was like fish themed. But like some of the booths didn't really have like.
I think the thing that killed it for you is there was a booth that was way past the vendors.
Oh, there's like,
and you were like, "We're not walking that far."
It was in the vendors. It was like way.
No, it was past.
Yeah,
it was in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, or not the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was like in the autograph section.
It was really close to that. Yeah, but I was also just like the fish gear. I was like, it wasn't as impressive as when I went to Anime NYC, but yeah, like I am a definite advocate for participating in stamp rallies because again you're supporting a bunch of artists who you might not have shopped at before for one reason or another, but you are because you love the particular series that is a part of the stamp rally, or again the theme or whatever. So those are what I always tell people they should do.
I agree. I think we're going to wrap this one up. We need to go to bed. It's very, very late.
It is.
Any
final thoughts, though?
Final thoughts.
Because we're only on day 2.
We are on day 2.
I have 2 more days.
We have yet to go to panels, which I know we do ours tomorrow. I know you want to talk about panels a little bit more, but A, we got to go to bed. B, your wife is trapped in the bathroom. She's being very nice and not opening that squeaky ass door.
She's fine. She knew what she was getting into.
Also, side note, the hotel we're staying at, very, very, like the loudest hotel I think I've ever stayed at. Like the doors squeak, the elevators squeak, everything fucking squeaks in this place.
It sounded like the room next to us, someone was getting a tattoo, is what you said.
Oh god, yeah, it was a very loud tattoo, or the world's loudest vibrator.
Don't say that. Don't say that. That's not.
Anyways,
but all right. Well, one
final
thought. I just want to do one final thing. Panels.
Yeah.
My only thought on it is don't feel like you're obligated to go to panels when you're going to a convention like this. I am so incredibly impressed by the sheer amount of stuff that you're able to do at MomoCon.
Yeah.
And it's pretty consistent across a lot of the bigger ones too. Where I'm from in Detroit, our biggest one is HumiCon, which you almost have to go to panels because there's just not enough. Like vendors and artists are so incredibly small there now, which is really unfortunate. So the only thing you can do to entertain yourself is go to panels. Here, though, I mean, we spent 4 hours just in Artist Alley, like just looking, not even like shopping fully.
Yeah.
Like we spent almost the entire day in Artist Alley.
Not even the vendors, just Artist Alley.
From like 11:30 noon to 7 o'clock when it closed down. Like
we did a lot of content in the beginning, and I think we got to Artist Alley from like 1. So it was 5 hours.
Yeah,
6 hours.
So you can spend days just going between the vendors, the artists, and then like all the other stuff they have now too for like the video games, the Itachis, the cars. Like it's
wrestling.
There's wrestling there. There's always live wrestling.
That is very specific to MomoCon.
That's true.
They have wrestling here.
Not every anime convention you go to is gonna have wrestling, but that is all to say, like, do not feel like you're obligated to go to panels. Certainly do if there's ones that intrigue you,
like ours.
Like ours. Because there's a lot of fantastic fan panels. There's a lot of like good industry panels too, like ones from like industry folks that come in. Like I think Studio Orange is here doing stuff on like the music for Trigun.
Yep.
and a couple of their other series. They have other music producers from Japan here too that do like video games and other anime series. So like,
and then voice actors do their own things
Yeah,
too. Like Pro ZD's apparently doing autographs from
For-
12:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's wrong. It's wrong. But yeah, or if you want to like if we want to get voice actor signatures, like you'll have to wait in lines, but you can just do that for like a whole day. You could be like, you know what, today's my day to meet some of the voice actors I love. I'm just gonna go wait in lines and get their signatures, right? So you can certainly like spend the entire 4 days of MomoCon doing different things every day and just not getting bored, because it is
massive.
It's incredibly massive. Like, just again, the
But in
volume
the
of
best
stuff.
possible way.
Yeah. This is all a positive. And I guess I should have said more presented as like not like you don't need to go to panels. It's like you don't need to do everything here, because you almost literally can't.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like sprinting from place to place, like
You're
fucking
the Flash.
Well, I was gonna say like Cartman at Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, wow, look at that, and runs to the next place. Like, oh, look at that, and runs to the table. Oh, you get the food. Oh, good. Yeah, you'd be doing that if you try to do everything in one day, especially. So like even over 4 days, like take your time, enjoy it. It is a really cool experience, and honestly, I think as my final closing thought, if you're able to, MomoCon is probably the best first con to go to for like anime convention to go to. Anime NYC, Anime Expo, they're bigger. A lot of the other Frontier's pretty big too.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll be reporting on Frontier later this year.
the the ones that are sponsored by Crunchyroll, the ones that are have the big productions.
It's a bit more corporate.
They're great, but they are extremely overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of red tape on like how to go to panels and how to get
Line
into
up for different stores, etc.
Like there's a lot involved with those. MomoCon, albeit still really big, is to my knowledge still the same group that started it at like Georgia Tech, I think, or Georgia.
I'm sure if it was, it could have been. I think they started in the 90s.
No, it was like late 2000s, I
Was
think.
it?
Yeah, mid to late 2000s. But like it was
Okay.
college community driven. It's grown immensely over the last,
And they do things yearly too. It's not just this big convention. Like they do put on like random assortments of festivals, etc. throughout the year in the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
So
if you're thinking of a good anime convention, like first time, just to dip your toes in and see what it's like, I would recommend 100% try MomoCon.
Yeah.
It is probably the ideal one to go to get that same like big anime convention experience, but without the like headache of trying to navigate through some of the intensity that is like Anime NYC or Anime Expo.
Yeah. No, I agree. And thank you all for joining us this week in this very special edition of Two Bakas in a Bed.
Well, that's the title now.
That's the title now.
that's
Two
it.
Bakas in a Bed. Thank you all for joining us this week. We will be back next week with brand new episodes. But if you want more of us, please follow us on social medias at Bakacopodcast, wherever you get your social media feeds. We will be, again, I always do that. Well, I always double dip it.
I think you're used to plugging this, and now that we're here, it's messed you up, but yeah.
Anyways, until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.